Hey everyone, Wei Ming here today. And today, right, I have my good friend Chris Long, who is my go-to crypto guy, right, when I have some questions about crypto. And some of you know recently there was this new craze about crypto. And then some of you guys were also asking like, hey, is crypto a new thing? Can buy or not? And so on and so forth. So today I just want to have a good chat with my friend Chris. And Chris, I know him for like 5 to 6 years now. Like way back, we met at some personal development course actually, and even way back, long before this crypto craze, he was already very passionate into crypto, and he already could see the future of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, etc. So, Chris, welcome, and if you don't mind, maybe you can just give a short introduction about yourself, your background, and how you got into crypto.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me, Rayming. So, for those of guys tuning in, welcome. My name is Chris, and this actually is my real room. So, my wife's working from home today, and I'm doing this interview seated on the floor of my bedroom. Hope that the
A very
crate
chill
is
style,
not too is not too
very
distracting.
cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, my background is so right now what I'm doing is I am a full-time trainer, meaning I teach people how to buy, sell, invest in cryptocurrencies. In terms of my background, so I've been doing this for 3 years. Before this, I was in an investment bank. I was doing
right.
investment banking in this category called DCM, the debt capital markets. So what we would do is that our team would work with your guys like your first REITs or your capital land, and we'll help them issue bonds. Before that, I studied Masters of Finance in SMU. So during those times, I was very much focused on equity investing. I think you could say that I started out my journey learning about equity investing.
Right.
Then after that, for my professional career, I went into fixed income.
Right.
Now I am probably in the third pillar, which is cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency probably falls under alternative assets.
Right.
A little diverse uh, background. So I know a little bit of everything,
Mm.
but right now I would say the area of focus for me is in cryptocurrency.
All right. And what makes you, I mean, you've always been in crypto like 3, 4, 5 years back already, right? What makes you wanted to go into crypto? And what makes you so passionate about crypto, actually, to be honest?
All right. So how I started is because when I was working, the job demands a lot, right? I used to go to work at 8, and typically
Right.
you work 7 days a week. You go home at about 2 to 3 a.m.
Okay.
And it was during that time I knew that I can't do this forever lah. Some
Yeah.
people like to
Check.
chiong and make a lot of money. I like to chiong for a while, and then after that, for the rest of the time, I want to enjoy my life.
Right.
So I needed a way to exit that rat race, and I started to really um, spend a lot of time researching on how best to invest my money, whether it is by equities,
Mm.
whether it's by bonds. During that time, I wasn't, I
Okay.
didn't touch options. Maybe if
Right.
I met you then, maybe I would do options. And then also I came across Bitcoin. So back in 2016, when I saw Bitcoin, it's actually the second time that it's caught my attention.
Right.
The first time was in university. During
Okay.
that time, Bitcoin was $1. And I remember, wow, this internet thing scam. Because you play games, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Online, massive play multiplayer online
Yeah.
RPG games. So they will do Bitcoin and they'll talk about it and they will sell stuff using it. I thought it was a scam, $1, sure lose money one. And when I saw it during 2016, it was up to about $500 already, I think. I was like, oh, wow, 500x in
Yeah.
like less than 7 years, you know. So that was where I started to go and research a little bit more lah.
Mm.
And
Okay.
I liked what I learned about it.
All
So I
right.
put some money back in 2016, did it well. My friends around me asked me what it was, how do I
Right.
invest. I taught them, it did well, and they suggested I started this training school lah. So this is where
Awesome.
I am
Nice.
in terms of
So,
business. Yeah, in terms of
so
business.
what about crypto or Bitcoin or this whole space that really attracts you to it? Is it the fundamentals of it? Is it, do you see like the future trends, in terms of like more people adopting it, which what everyone is saying, or
Yeah.
how yeah. So back then when you slowly started to got in, like what was it that really attract you? Were you just attracted because hey people are going to buy, it's going to go up, or what? Yeah, just share.
Fantastic question. To be honest, at the start, right, it's
Yeah.
purely price.
All right.
It went up a lot. I looked at the past 3 years. Every year it go up 300-400%. So I thought, all right, it's gonna go up another 300-400% this year. So at the start, it's just like that.
Right.
You know, I could come up with some philosophical reason or deep research reason about why I get started. But I would say really my very initial step is speculative.
Mm.
But after I got in, right, I started to appreciate it a little bit more.
Okay.
And the one thing that makes me the most passionate and appreciative of cryptocurrency, right, is that it is not a crowded trade.
Not
Meaning
a
to
crowded
say,
trading.
when I do trading, right, let's say I trade forex, or
Right.
let's say I trade Tesla,
Mm.
the thing is, I am kind of is a zero sum game. I'm competing against the very best brains out there,
All right.
right? And if I want to trade blue chip companies, really, how much higher can it go,
Right.
right? So that's a question I need to ask myself. Then, do I want to do leverage? What kind of strategy do I
Right.
do?
Right.
Do I want to scalp? But for Bitcoin and crypto, when I go in, who are my competition? Really, my competition is much smaller in terms of numbers participating in crypto. And
Mm.
as such, to be honest, I think the best brains in the world, whether trading brains or finance brains or
Right.
investing brains, they have not entered into the space.
Right. So there is it's a bit like blue ocean now. Blue ocean should
Ah,
where
exactly. So it feels
yeah.
like a blue ocean to me. And for me, the idea of crypto is that risk and reward is asymmetrical. Meaning, sure, it's true. Crypto prices very volatile. I buy Bitcoin can go to zero. But right now, just looking at the market cap of Bitcoin, for example, right, it's a few $100 billion. Can't remember the number of my head.
Yeah.
Maybe 400, 500.
Right.
Whereas if you compare it to a single stock like Apple, and those are
Right.
in the trillions, and
Right.
Bitcoin allows people from all over the world to trade it. Meaning to say, you don't just need to be a US citizen, you don't just need to be amongst a certain group of countries, demographics, but anyone, anywhere in the world can trade this 24/7, can access the markets. So my idea of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is just a matter of fund flows.
Right.
If I compare Bitcoin as an asset class versus all the other asset class out there, what percentage of the funds in the world does it capture? Number
Right.
one.
Okay.
Now, just because it doesn't capture a lot is not good enough.
Right.
The second thing is important. Number two, what is the trend of people wanting to invest in Bitcoin, knowing about Bitcoin, and thinking that it makes sense to park money there?
Right.
Me, when I think about it, I think the trend is accelerating. I think more people are looking to come in, and
Mm.
they are just either on the sidelines or not so sure. And when they do come in, the amount of funds that's flowing in push up the price more compared
Right.
to most other major asset classes out there,
Right.
like gold.
Cool.
But yeah,
Cool. So I think like also in recent times, I think last few months or over the last 6 to 12 months, there are more bigger players, big money. They call it institutional funds adopting, uh, like Square also recently they bought like 50 million worth of Bitcoin or something like that. Wow, that's
yeah,
huge, man. So like yeah, I we kind of like I would say the trend is going towards there. So perhaps because you are more up there like or you're more into the game into crypto. So what are the recent developments trend you saw that happening in crypto over the last 6 or 12 months that most laymen like me might not be able to see, and also moving forward right into 2021 and beyond, how do you see crypto evolving over the next 1 or 2 years or the next few years perhaps,
yeah. Uh, Actually, you're very informed already, lah. I mean, you can, yeah. I
or
think
more
you
for
can.
like maybe more our audience who are more
Yeah.
chill, yeah, not really into it.
Okay. So definitely 2020, right, is an interesting year because number one, so in 2017, let's go back 2017 first. 2017 was the last bubble.
Right.
2017, there was actually a lot of news on crypto as well, but they were all about countries. This country approved, this country does
Right.
legislation, this country bans, so on and so forth. Then towards 2018,
Yeah. So for the context, right, look, audience, like 2017 was where the price went up to like 20K, is it? And then it bubbled, meaning it hit the peak of 20K and then it dropped back
yeah,
down. Yeah.
yeah. So January 2017, it was 1K.
Right.
December 2017, it was 20K.
Mm.
So it was a 20 bagger
Right.
in 1 year.
Right.
And during that year, all the news that come out is about country.
Right.
Then in 2018, right? 2018 to 2019, in Singapore, agencies began to come out. So the tax
Mm.
agencies in Singapore, the tax agencies in the US, they began to lay down, this is what we think. Do we want to charge tax on it? Do we not want to charge tax on it? So there's clarity in terms of government agencies. You
Right.
see, government, then government agencies.
Right.
Then in 2020, suddenly you begin to see institution funds and banks come in and they say, we're going to start a fund. DBS actually is starting a
Right.
digital asset as
Yes.
well. And then those are government-linked agencies, right? Government-linked corporations,
Yeah.
DBS lah,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Goldman and all that
Yeah.
to a
Sure.
certain extent.
Sure.
And then finally, we are seeing guys like Square and MicroStrategy coming. So I'm not sure if you guys observe it. It's probably not many people talk about it. 2017 was the country, then the tax agencies,
Right.
then the government-linked banks and corporations, and then now private
Corporations.
institutions as well as hedge funds as well as
Right.
corporations. So you can see that thing dripping down. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
Which is why, and the most massive amount of money that's coming in is always like that,
Right.
because most of the money right now is not in hedge funds. They're actually in funds like pension funds,
Mm.
guys like GIC, and there's a huge amount of money that's still in retail.
All right.
When the retail comes in, this is where there's going to be a huge influx. Yeah. So what's our original question? Oh, wow. What was this 1 year? What have we observed? So, and a
Right.
broader trend, this is what I've seen. Probably the biggest impact that will affect us Singaporeans is the fact that our DBS Bank has started their own digital currency exchange.
Mm.
So to be honest, right, at this point of time, if someone comes in and says Bitcoin is a scam, no offense for in my sentence, or maybe just a little bit of offense, you have to be pretty low IQ to say that, because DBS already said let's trade it. It could be a shitty asset, it could be a volatile asset, but 100% everyone knows that Bitcoin is not a scam per se
Right.
anymore.
I think that crowd, I mean, that says, "Oh, Bitcoin is a scam," is I would say it's a very small audience. But
Yeah.
for the majority, I think people will be more curious into thinking how this crypto will play out. Everyone knows it's trending up,
Mm.
like how trending, like in terms of the adoption rate, how is the curve, and how should one position my portfolio accordingly. So, for
Okay.
example, like some of the questions, yeah, maybe you can share. Mm.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned is very true. In 2017, really majority of people think it's a scam. Nowadays, in my training or in my Facebook post, nobody posts say, "Hey, this is a scam" anymore. Nobody really says that. They they are more accepting, if I may say, or if I may, or I don't know. Can I say enlightened? But basically, they just don't really think it's a scam anymore.
Right.
As to how we position our portfolio, it, it
Okay,
has to
maybe,
really
maybe
depend.
let's get to that a bit later, how in terms of
Okay,
portfolio positioning. So
okay.
one of the questions that I personally have, right, is I thinking like what is like 5, 10 years from now in like in the long term, how like the role of crypto or the role of Bitcoin or crypto slash crypto in our society. For example, like will it replace currency, like replace USD as a dominant currency in the world, or would it more be more like a like gold, like a digital gold, something like
Yeah,
that? How do you
yeah.
see it?
I think originally the original idea is that it will replace
Yeah,
US currency.
give me 1 minute. I go and close my window. It's like raining. I'm gonna
No
pause it.
problem. You also started reading here.
Yeah.
So
All right. Yeah. So how do you see crypto or uh,
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin like how the role that you will play in our society in the future?
Okay. I am pragmatic one lah. So I try to look towards all my investment as a realist rather than
Mm,
philosophically.
right, right.
Philosophically, and the original purpose of Bitcoin is to replace the US dollar,
Okay,
but it can't
okay.
for a number of reasons. Meaning, one of it mainly is because it's too slow.
Too slow.
The number of transactions that can be done on the blockchain per second is too slow to facilitate all the transactions that's happening around the world,
Okay, okay, right.
right?
Okay.
So, uh, right now, to me, the closest comparison that I can give to Bitcoin is probably a digital gold. People see it as a store of value and they see it as an investment lah. So there is a level of speculation to it, much like actually any other stocks.
Right,
But the idea is that when you buy Bitcoin, it's not for you to spend things. It's number one, for you to conserve the value of your assets and maybe even grow it over time
mm,
because Feds are printing a lot of money, there's a lot of inflation, so on and so forth. The second reason, maybe some people are buying it as a hedge against something that is a black swan. For example, if US dollar no longer becomes, it's no longer the trade currency of the world, that
right,
will cause a lot of confusion. People are most likely free to go, and potentially people will use Bitcoin
right.
because there is enough market share in
Mm.
terms of attention and acceptance that this is something of value already. So
So it's more like a safe haven per se lah. You see like most people will use it as a safe haven, a bit of hedge, that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, it's an interesting blend because you have a group of guys that see it as a safe haven,
Right,
and you have a group of guys that sees it as growth
right,
because there's that internet element to it. There's that blockchain decentralized element to it. So it's really interesting because typically safe havens like gold, which is one end of the risk spectrum,
right,
and growth is like right there at the other end. And somehow Bitcoin has kind of positioned itself not in the middle but at both ends,
right.
which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that could work also. I mean, like using a gold as a context, like in the gold rush, gold is growing, ma, the gold prices, right, or something like that. Yeah. So like along this journey, and this might be, or maybe how do I rephrase this? So like right now with crypto prices going up, or there's more attention in crypto. There's a lot of, or there are some like people who got more into crypto, teaching crypto, like crypto
Mm.
wannabes. So how, what in your opinion, what set the really legit guys like yourself, or maybe not yourself, but like really know their shit compared to crypto wannabes, or like people who jump on the bandwagon, that kind of thing. So my context for asking this is more of like, hey, if I want to get into crypto, I want to maybe find out more about it, learn more about it, right? Then everyone will position themselves as the crypto expert, that kind of thing. So how
Okay.
in your opinion, how do you you can filter out? Should Yeah.
That's a hard one. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not legit. I also don't know. Maybe like there's even more super smart
Right.
people out there. Uh, I I honestly don't see too many people teaching crypto even now.
Mm.
Like when I look around, I actually don't see people offering courses. In 2017, there was a lot. I counted. I had about 15 competitors.
Wow.
Yeah, I have about 15 competitors.
Okay.
Today, in fact, for the ever since cryptocurrency crash, all my competitors disappeared. No one is teaching crypto anymore. In fact, for the last 2 years or maybe 1.5 years,
Right.
I was probably the only person doing classes. Even now, when I look around, I don't really see anyone else
At least
offering
in Singapore lah.
trading. Yeah, at least in Singapore. At least in Singapore. Even in Malaysia, or maybe Malaysia have, but at least in Singapore, I don't
Yeah.
see it lah. I think that it is important to understand when someone says they are teaching, right, what exactly are they teaching?
Right.
Because if they are teaching technical analysis on crypto, they are really teaching charts.
Right.
They don't need to know about fundamentals and they don't need to be inside the space. So
Right. Right.
what I teach is more the this angle one. I don't look at charts.
Okay.
I like to go in, find an altcoin that I like, People don't really know. I think about it, how the altcoin works, how the token works, what are the value accrual process to the tokens, will this be attractive to more people, causing funds to flow in, then I will position there and I wait for people to come in.
Right.
So it's
Almost
like
like finding a,
finding
yeah, like investing context, finding a raw diamond, and then uh
ah
yeah, like this like undervalues. So
yeah.
we're waiting for other people. Yeah, I get it. Wow, that's interesting. So okay, maybe a more relevant question to some audience would be, in your this last 3 4 years journey, which is awesome crypto journey, right? What are some of the one or two mistakes that perhaps you might have made, or one of the interesting experience that you had so far in crypto?
Wow, okay, so many. Okay, but to complete the previous question about how to see whether someone is legit or fluffy, right? I actually think that the most a lot of people right now when they do crypto, right, the number one fluffy thing people say is, come in, deposit money with me, and you'll earn a lot of passive income.
It's like
Like
a very bullshit.
like 10 figure 10 figure passive income if you come in. You can quit your job and live off your crypto earnings.
Singaporeans
So
nowadays
that is the
fall
first
for
red
this
flag.
kind of thing, man. Okay, yeah, all right.
They do, and they still fall for it. So here's the thing: is it true that there's passive income in crypto? Yes. Is it true that it is high? Yes. But it is not like. Is it true that there can be 200-300%? Yes, it's true. So let me quantify. There's two
Mm,
kind of passive income. One is level one. Level one is really very good. Level one gives you like 8 to 12% per year,
mm,
which is almost like Ponzi scam level, 8 to 12%. But this is level one. A level four is what we call liquidity mining or yield farming, and these are the ones that give you 400-500%.
oh, wow,
Now, the Ponzi scam sits right in between. They'll probably give you maybe 20-30%. How
right,
do you see that they are Ponzi scams or they are fluffy? Okay, number one, right, is that when you join them,
yeah,
they will encourage you to invite other people to join.
mm,
Because the more people you invite, the more passive income you get. And you're helping them and you're helping yourself. This is the pitch. You're
okay,
helping them, you're helping yourself. Put money in, give them freedom, and you also get more. Then get more people to get recruited. So for me, when I do a yield farm, we call them a yield farm, right? And we do get that 400-500% per year. I don't want anyone to join me, because the more people join me, the more they're competing against me getting
oh.
this
What
cryptocurrency.
farm is that?
We call it a yield farm. Do you want to see? I can share screen and show you if you like.
No, no,
Want to
I think it's
find.
okay lah. Yeah, maybe next time.
It's okay.
Yeah,
So next time maybe yeah,
I want
we
to join.
call that new farm because these are new cryptocurrency that's being distributed.
New or NEW is it? How I pronounce?
Yeah, a new cryptocurrency,
Oh, okay, okay,
NEW.
okay,
Yeah, and they want people to get it and get exposed to it to learn
right,
about it.
okay,
So they want to distribute it to as many people as possible. And through this process, they call it yield farming or
right,
liquidity
okay.
mining, right? So when I go in, I create something called liquidity pool,
Mm,
and then I provide pricing information for this cryptocurrency.
right.
Then I can farm for that cryptocurrency. So
Oh,
those give me like 400% per year.
okay, right.
There
Wow.
are different risks to it, lah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah. But
sounds cool.
so bringing back to the question is that if you are doing something like that, you don't need to recruit people one.
I get it.
You kind of just
Yeah, I think that's
do
a
it yourself.
really good tip for, I mean, everyone, including myself, like how to spot and avoid Ponzi scam in crypto. Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for the tip, Chris. All right. So maybe to the next question. Like, so what's one or two mistakes or experience that you had in your journey so far? Yeah, that you don't mind sharing.
I think two mistakes. The first is that when things are shooting up, I didn't take profit. So that was a rookie mistake lah. That happened in 2017. I started with maybe $8,000. Then maybe I scale up to a total of maybe $12,000
Right.
on my capital. That was in 2017. By 2018, right, that $12,000 became 155,000
Wow.
in a year. Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought I was gonna be a millionaire. So I thought, okay, I'll just leave it there, don't touch it
Right.
no matter what. but it went from 150,000 back down to about 25K.
Right.
Still
Okay.
profitable, but
But
it would have been so much more profitable if I had taken profits on the way up.
right.
So
You got
the thing
tricked
about
some of it.
crypto, yeah, is that when money goes up, you feel damn shook and you are so confident and so powerful. You feel like you're the smartest guy in the room, and all the other traders and all the other value investors, they're so far behind because they're not in crypto that you don't take profit. You think that in the next 1 to 2 years you'll be a millionaire. That was a rookie mistake. And
Right.
you know, of you who get started in crypto, as you go up and it can shoot up very fast, you should take profits. Yeah.
Right. All right.
Second is that if your baby is crying and you're trying to comfort your baby, don't do any crypto transactions. So a couple of weeks ago, I was trying to do a transaction and my baby was crying. So I was very distracted and I typed in uh uh I wanted to type in an I as the last alphabet, but I typed it O instead next to each other.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I didn't check and I just enter and I just send the transaction
Right.
and it went uh to the wrong contract. So I lost a substantial amount of money that way. So there's
Wow.
no way to reverse a transaction in crypto one.
Wow. Wow. That sucks. Right. I mean,
So
that
if
is.
that
Thanks
happens,
for sharing that. Wow. That kind of.
you just
Yeah. I think in general, investing or trading also like for me lah. Like I don't do it when I am in a bad mood. I don't have a crying baby now, but if you have bad mood and all that, yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. That I think will be very very relevant for some of our audience because sometimes the environment matters also. If there's too noisy distraction, your family members are talking to you or whatsoever. Sometimes it might not be the best lah, right? Okay, so
yeah.
maybe moving on to some of the challenges or risks per se. Like what do you think are some of the potential risks of crypto and Bitcoin per se, and also what are some of the challenges that it might face along the way out, like over the next few years, that you think will come in this way?
So to be clear, are you talking about the challenges that cryptocurrencies will face, or are you saying the challenges that investors will face?
Wow, that's a good
Like, like
uh,
you think if you start investing in crypto, what are the things that they might look out
maybe
for? Or are you saying
uh,
Bitcoin, what are the
maybe
barriers?
let's do both. Like like what do you think crypto will face, and what do you think the investors will face also? Because I think both are pretty much relevant to us, right?
Mm.
Right.
Well, I think that question is broad.
Mm,
For the crypto side, probably the biggest or most dangerous barrier to cryptocurrency will be government intervention.
okay.
And if the US government really decides to clamp down on crypto for whatever reason,
Right.
or the Chinese government,
Right.
for sure they will have some way to suppress the price.
Sure.
For sure there are some way to make it difficult.
Right.
It's kind of like saying, Facebook has decentralized the sharing on news or Twitter has decentralized sharing on news. But you see how they brought Mark Zuckerberg and,
Right.
and
Right.
all
Right.
these tech companies to court. So as much as we like the idea of decentralization, I think that we still have some way to go. And I think that the powers at large are still very powerful. So they still will have some clout
Sure.
in
Sure.
affecting the Bitcoin or crypto. But
Right.
it is difficult because the idea of a blockchain is that these computer nodes are not just in a single country.
Right.
They're not just in the US, they're in China, they're in Japan, and all these different countries. So it might require a coordinated effort, which historically have not been done in terms of, you know,
Mm.
collaboration between governments against this sort of thing. Uh, so yeah, I think that is the biggest
All
obstacle
right.
to. I actually think that the future is brighter than it is dark. Because
Yeah.
aside from Bitcoin, there are things like Ethereum.
Right.
And Ethereum is like you can build code and what we call smart contracts on it, and it's decentralized. And
Mm.
some of the brightest, smartest people are building stuff on it. And I see really interesting stuff being built on Ethereum. And you don't need a lot of money. It's not like a normal startup where you need a certain level of runway and all that. over in Ethereum or in crypto right now, you can build something, show it to the world, and you can ask the world for funding really quickly.
So there's
But
a
you
lot of optionalities, functionalities to it, lah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think that part is quite bright. It's probably brighter than that it is dark. I
right,
don't think that the governments will curb it. In fact, you
right.
can see that Singapore government is quite supportive of it.
Yeah. Like,
If
actually,
you mm,
in my own opinion, right, like I think these are my 2 cents. I don't know much, but I think it's hard for the government to, if they want to suppress it, and most will just go along with it, lah. Like
yeah,
China, they're doing their digital yen and so on and so forth. Yeah, lor. So I actually see, uh, a natural progression,
yeah,
and yeah, more people adopting it. Well,
yeah. I think
yeah.
that's my gut feel as well.
Mm,
For investors, I think the number one thing that we need to look out for is uh the volatility lah.
mm,
Yeah, don't get overconfident and don't be surprised if even next month Bitcoin crashes back to 10,000. It's
right,
just
right.
normal.
Yeah.
So a lot of people might give up and think it's a scam, or they might give up and just say, wow, this is too much. However, if you spend time, energy, effort to explore and learn how to do it right, I actually think it's easier to make money in crypto than any other asset classes. Maybe because I'm
Yeah, your
biased.
niche, ma. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe I'm biased, but I do think that there is really quite a lot of alpha to it. And yeah, it's not that
Okay. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, that's sure. Okay, so maybe like for beginners, right? Like maybe there could be definitely some beginners who have not even started on crypto could wish to get started, right? How can one get started? Especially
Mm.
with the context that they do not have the level of knowledge or expertise that you have right now. I mean, just a newbie, should I dollar cost average? Maybe you can walk me through, like, or walk a beginner through how should start,
Okay, so the first thing you need to get right is you need to find a place where you can convert your Sing dollars to Bitcoin and crypto.
right?
So that's your first step. In Singapore, I use tokenized exchange. Overseas, you can consider using Gemini.
Mm,
Um, After you set up those accounts, or
right,
you go and find out how to set up the accounts, almost everyone gets started with Bitcoin
right,
because Bitcoin is the most well known. It is the most stable compared to other altcoins.
right,
Ethereum, the price is the most stable. And because there is so much attention and guys are and so much infrastructure around it, right? The
right.
institutions are buying it. You can actually get it from banks and all. Bitcoin is probably our safest bet that it wouldn't die. So you start off with Bitcoin. After that, you go over to Ethereum, which is the second biggest
Right.
crypto. After you're familiarized with those two, then you can start your research into altcoins and how do you generate passive income using the crypto you have. So these like building blocks lah, where you need to go up.
So along this curve, right, how should one, accelerate one's learning curve? Like, okay, sure, I got started buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, then what's next? And to find out what's next, I need to, read up more, research more, talk to more people, who to talk to, what to research, what to read up on, like how,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, I mean, I don't know the networks that y'all will have, but I'm sure someone among your friends would know about crypto.
right.
So alternatively, you can follow my page as well, and
Mm,
then we will post updates about it. And then if you are keen, you can reach out to Rainy and ask him, how do
sure.
you sign up for a course, perhaps. Uh, if let's say, for example, you don't want to spend money on a course, your next natural way would be through the internet, whether it's by YouTube, whether it's by Google. The
Mm, mm.
downside of that is not that there is no information, everything is there. The downside is that there is too much information, right? So
Information parodies, right?
yeah, so it gets frustrating. Every, People will tell you to go different directions, right? Some people say you need to trade crypto, some people say you need to invest, some people will say buy altcoins, some people say stick to Bitcoin, Ethereum. So that gets a little bit tricky. But the free information is there lah. You just need to spend a lot more time to learn it. That's the beauty about crypto is that information is around.
Mm,
I I think that really to get started, you have to start at Bitcoin and Ethereum first. Then from there, you will look into the bigger cap altcoins. Then you need to understand how altcoins are created. Then you need to think about token economics. You need to consider developer teams. If you want to go really, really deep, you might want to look into coding. Then you can read the smart contract codes.
Mm,
And of course, in terms of categories, you can do really cool stuff like NFT mining, non-fungible token mining. You can do liquidity mining or yield farming, which is generating yield. You can do liquidity pool provisions.
right. So all that sounds very a bit
Yeah,
cheap to me right now. So maybe we, like if audience would love this, let me know in the comment section, and I might do a follow up interview with Chris about maybe a more in depth stuff. So today I just want to keep maybe this interview, this sharing to a more simple stuff. So on that note, right, let's say if I am a beginner and I want to start a easy no frills, like very easy way to kickstart lah, right? Let's say I have 10,000 and I want to allocate a small portfolio to cryptocurrency per se. How will you advise, or how will you allocate um, a 10,000 portfolio to crypto in a very, very low level, easy way just to get started on? Is it like
yeah.
70% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, or how will you do it?
Okay. So if you want the lower risk element kind, then you put half of it in Bitcoin,
Okay.
and then after that you put 30% in Ethereum,
All right.
and then last 20% you can put it in various different altcoins. If you
All
want a little
right.
bit
So
more,
50, 30, 20.
yeah, if you want a little bit more risk, then you reduce the Bitcoin allocation
Mm,
and you spread it to Ethereum and altcoins.
right.
Yeah. So usually for beginners, I would say 50% in Bitcoin usually.
Mm,
But I think if you are younger, let's say in your 20s, in your 30s, and Bitcoin can probably go up maybe another 5x. I don't think that is unreasonable to think. But if you are looking for that 10x or 20x, you need to look at altcoins.
mm,
Why? I think lah. Some people say Bitcoin going to a million is not a problem, but I I don't know. I'm not sure. Bitcoin going to 100,000, I can see it. Bitcoin
mm.
going to a million at this point, I'm not very confident. But if you tell me Ethereum from $500 going to 5,000, I see it. In fact, 10,000 I can potentially is there as well. So basically, Bitcoin is your most stable and safe
Right.
crypto for
The
50%.
base, the base. Yeah.
If you take more risk, you just reduce it to
Oh,
30%.
that sounds really awesome, man. Is
Yeah.
there any like uh, so like I've been using crypto, I mean GBTC, the Bitcoin ETF to go about doing it. Do you recommend this approach, or do you how will you go? Like,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on this?
If you are trading it, let's say, I don't know, are you just buying or are you doing long?
I mean just buying and holding for long term. I don't want to trade it. I just park one side. Yeah.
Then don't get GBTC.
Oh, okay.
Get the actual Bitcoin is better.
Okay.
For a number of reasons. Number one, GBTC charge you a management fee. So
Mm.
you're paying them every year.
Right,
Second
that's
is
good to
that
know.
I think you pay a premium for Bitcoin. So I think if they sell you one Bitcoin, they are charging you an extra 5 or 10%. So that's how they earn their money. If I'm
Right.
not mistaken, I may be wrong, but
Right.
I remember reading somewhere at GPT charges a premium. Then last of all, right, is that if you buy actual Bitcoin, you can lend out this Bitcoin for interest. So
Mm.
this Bitcoin actually become like a bond for you. They're giving you coupons or passive income
Right.
every
How much the interest?
6 to 8% is the baseline.
All right.
Yeah, you should be looking at a minimum of between maybe 4 to 8%, depending on the market. I give you a
Right.
month. Yeah.
Oh, not bad. At least got the
Yeah, it's easy to get this kind of range. I personally am getting 40% on Bitcoin because I'm doing the yield farming
right.
stuff. But the most basic, right, 6% easy,
Cool.
which which you can get started.
So if we are asked to we ask another question in terms of, okay, so then I ask like your 10K portfolio, how we allocate, right? If a bigger overarching question will be, let's say once investor, how many percent of his portfolio do you think one should put into crypto? Like, is it 1%, 10%, 20%, 5%, and why so?
As a baseline, I do 10%.
10%.
So that if this 10% goes to zero, right, you will feel sad, but you still have 90%. You probably can still sleep at night.
Yeah, you won't lose sleep over it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's unlikely that Bitcoin will go to zero, but I think that it's still possible that Bitcoin can fall by 70-80%.
Mm.
It's possible.
So it really depends on one's
Risk.
aversion to volatility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
If you're younger, I mean, the way I'll play, if I'm someone in my 20s, I might just put 50% in Bitcoin and
Wow.
crypto. Because the worst case is, right, you have not accumulated a lot in these first 20 plus years.
Mm.
Whereas the 50-year-old guy will have accumulated a lot in his life.
Yes.
So let's say you put in, let's say for the past 20 plus years, you save like 20,000. You put in 10% is $2,000. $2,000, even if your portfolio go up as a 10 bagger, is 20K.
Yeah, in
Doesn't
terms of the absolute amount, is
uh,
yeah, I get it. And then you lose at 2,000. Yeah, so I think that's a good way of putting this into
so,
context.
so
Right.
the 20-year-old put in half, which is 10K. I
Mm.
mean, it's maybe 3-4 months of salary. But if this 10K becomes a 10 bagger, it's 100K.
Mm.
That makes a difference. Yeah, so it
Right.
depends on age as well as absolute amount.
Cool. All right. So I think we've been chatting for a while, and I think and really appreciate the time, taking the time out from a busy schedule to do this, sharing to our audience. So as we wrap up this, maybe this sharing at least for today, any final thoughts or advice that you would like to share? Any passing thoughts?
Yeah, I think it'll be good for you guys to learn about cryptocurrency. And now I think we are in the crux of the next
Right.
cycle already. Then the second advice I'll give if you're already in it or you're gonna go in is just remember to take profits.
Right. Remember take profits. Cool. And yeah, and if any of the audience want to perhaps learn from you or want to just find out more about you and some of your sharings, how would they be able to get in touch or find out more about you per se?
You can go to Facebook, cryptotrader.sg.
Cryptotrader.sg.
Follow us
Right.
there.
I will also be putting the link in the comments or the description section. All right. And you guys love the video or like the video, please help to give a thumbs up. All right. And help to comment in the section below, perhaps what question you would like Chris to ask Chris. And we can do another video part two on more about like the final, like the more details are about crypto. All right. All right. Awesome interview, man. Awesome sharing. All right. We love it. All
Happy.
right. I personally, I learned a lot, and I think our audience will love this also. All right. So, yeah. All right. Thanks, Chris. All right. See you another time.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.